I'm not going to speak that much. Preferably you also want to listen to music instead of listening to me. I just shortly will run through what we are playing on. As a power amplifier, we are using the Gryphon Mephisto, which is a Class A amplifier. Gryphon sincerely believes that Class A is the link to good sound. And it's a very highly rated, top-of-the-line amplifier. I would just shortly like that you show attention to the new Antillion amplifier, which is being presented here at this show. Gryphon doesn't bring out new products very often, because unless there's a reason to change it or anything that can be done better, Gryphon doesn't do it. But the new Antillion Evo has just been launched here. As a preamplifier, we're using the Pandora, which is a two-piece system with external power supply. We'll be using the Calliope DA converter. I'll talk a little bit about this later. And we're using the Mikado CD. And now I'll just play a track.
Que de tu dulce vida vos ya me has arrancado. Mi corazón una mentira pide para esperar tu imposible llamar. Yo no quiero que nadie se imagine cómo es de amarga y honda mi eterna soledad. Pasan las horas y el minutero muere. La pesadilla de su lento tic-tac.
Quite different way of designing speakers than the most speaker manufacturers that very conservatively, or they use very known algorithms that's been around, Lincoln's Rye and algorithms like that, making the crossover points. But Gryphon compensates a lot and uses a complete new approach to these algorithms designed by a person called Sten Duhlen. It's better described also in the catalog if you want to look into that. So it's a very different way of doing it. As I've been saying, you need to open the shell to reveal the pearl, because the crossover section inside these speakers is quite enormous. It's gone to very far length, using flat coil, wax mount coils. All the resistors are made out of graphite, very, very expensive resistors. I think each resistor is like almost 200 euros. So it's quite extreme what's put into the crossover, and the speaker should be in phase, into listening position at all times. I'll play another track. like if you have something saying boom, and it'll always end up having this hum sound, boom, hum. So like, as I normally say, every tone in the bass sounds like you've eaten a nice ice cream. So it always ends up by saying hum. At Gryphon, we have very, very low Q on the bass system because we want the bass to be very natural sounding. Normally in the engineering world, you're talking about trying to hit 0.7 Q. Subwoofers very often are like 8, 9 in Q to be able to play the bass. We're talking about probably 0.5 on the big Pantheons. We're talking on the Pendragons, we're talking 0.3 in Q. So we get a very neutral bass. From ape to human, 99% of the DNA is the same, and the same goes for conversion, where the last 1% where there's put a lot of time and effort into meticulous details on the analog stage, making a fully balanced Gryphon product. A thing where people very often forget to, in the Gryphon, not in the Gryphon, in the download version world, that the music is stored on some kind of computer device, and the computer device having probably a switch mode power supply, some kind of screen to control it. So we will have noise coming into the system. Each and every input is galvanic separated, so there is no electrical contact from the device to the calliope. The calliope will do any kind of MP files all the way to DSD and what's out there at the moment. If another system would come, it's upgradable. Now we'll try and play.
todo